First off, if you haven't seen the first Black Phone, go back and watch that before watching the sequel. It's about two siblings and a child kidnapper and murderer called the Grabber. It's a great abduction thriller that slowly introduces supernatural horror elements in a very Stephen King-strong kind of way, even though it's based on a short story written by his son, Joe Hill. It features a great and terrifying performance from Ethan Hawke, becoming an instant iconic horror villain. And now to Black Phone 2. This sequel continues the story in a very interesting way, becoming more supernatural by building even more on what was set up in the first one. It's the most imaginative horror sequel I've seen that's closely connected to the first one, but still very different and new. It feels very much like a new version of Nightmare on Elm Street, but it doesn't feel out of place or like a rip-off, more like an homage, and it all still working within the world set up in the first one. Ethan Hawke continues to be amazing. The Grabber is even more terrifying in this film. A few of the actors had a very unnatural delivery, making a few lines a little corny, especially noticeable in the first 15 minutes. It's very slow paced, and I enjoyed how it slowly built to the very good and creative scares later in the movie. It wasn't tense throughout the whole film, but it was great at building up the tension in short intervals. A few of the emotional scenes might be a bit hit or miss, as the film shifts tonally a few times throughout. The film has a lot of style. It was visually beautiful and haunting, with creative visual effects and amazing sound design. It features a very 80s synth-heavy soundtrack that felt very eerie and haunting, but also really cool. Despite some of the acting and the tonal shifts not always working while being slowly paced, this film is an instant classic and makes the Grabber even more iconic, and I can't wait to see if a third film can be just as creative while still being as coherent as this one was if a third film gets made.